Hardship is one of the few things in life none of us can avoid: a loss, a betrayal, a door that closes quietly and never opens again. It comes to every life, and no one gets to choose the hour it arrives. And when it comes, the Diné have a teaching that sounds almost backward the first time you hear it. Do not run from the thing that is breaking you. Look it in the eye and become its opposition. It may sound strange, so it is fair to ask why you should trust it. The answer is this: it comes from a people who were handed almost every hardship a people can endure, and who came through it. So stay with me, and let me show you what it means. It is an old Diné teaching, the kind a grandfather hands down to his grandson quietly when the boy is old enough to need it. Just a few words: you be the opposition to your adversity. Notice what it does not say. It does not say avoid your hardship. It does not even say survive it. It tells you to become something, the force that pushes back. Hold on to that line. By the end, it will mean much more than it does now. Start with what most of us try hardest not to admit. Hardship is not a question of if. It comes to every life. The only real question is when and in what shape. So the teaching is honest where you might wish it were soft. If you want to become a person of real character, you have to be willing to face your adversity. Character is not handed to you before the test. It is built inside it. The Diné came to see it like fire. The same fire can temper you into something stronger or burn you down to nothing. The fire does not decide which. You do, by how you choose to stand in it. That is why the elders taught their children to stay aware, to keep watching, to keep learning, because trouble rarely warns you before it comes. It just arrives. And the one left standing is the one who already decided how they would stand. If that sounds like too much to ask, look at who it comes from. This is not advice from a people who were spared. It is what the Diné learned after being tested almost beyond what anyone could bear, and surviving. They remember leaving an old world behind long ago, crossing wide, hard country, searching for a homeland, and building it again from almost nothing but each other. And it only got harder. The Spanish, the settlers, the soldiers, and finally a long march off their own land into a camp far from everything they knew. Many who went in never came back, but some held on. And the ones who came through were not just strong in body, they were strong in mind, in spirit, and in body together. When the treaty was signed and they walked home, even then it was not over. Their herds, their whole way of living, were taken soon after. Here is why their story is yours too. They never managed to avoid hardship. They couldn't. They learned to face it, and they survived because of what facing it taught them. This teaching was not written on paper. It was written in how a people stayed alive. If hardship is certain, then it helps to know where it comes from. The Diné name 3 doors. The first is the hardship you bring on yourself, the trouble that grows out of your own choices. It is the hardest one to admit. That is exactly why it is the best place to start. The second comes from the people closest to you, your own family, the people in your daily life. The wounds that hit hardest because the ones who cause them are nearest. The third comes from the world, and it is the most dangerous of the 3. Because the world does not just give you pain, it gives you a story about that pain, that you are a victim, that you are powerless, that what happened to you is now who you are. The hardship bruises your body. That story is what comes for your spirit, so learn which door yours came through. You answer each one a little differently, but every one of them you answer standing up. Now the teaching goes deeper than the hardship itself. Behind the trouble, the old ones say, there is something quieter and more patient, something that does not want the hardship to make you, it wants it to finish you. The old ones called it the evil one. Call it whatever you like: discouragement, despair, the voice that shows up on the worst day and whispers, lie down, stay down, why bother? It never asks for anything dramatic. It just wants you to stay still. And its goal is exact. It is not after your comfort. It is after the peace, the quiet confidence, the joy you would earn by facing your trouble and coming through. It wants you to settle for staying down, so you never find out what standing would have given you. This is not said to frighten you. It is said so you will know that voice when it comes, and know it is not the truth about you, which leaves one question. When the hardship comes and that voice with it, what do you actually do? The Diné answer is almost stubborn in how simple it is. You do not hide from your adversity. You do not bury it, and you do not pretend it away. You turn and face it, and you let it teach you. Underneath that is a belief that changes everything. The hard things are not accidents. They are allowed into your life for a reason. So something can grow in you that could not grow any other way. Nothing is wasted on the person willing to look. So when the hard thing comes, the teaching says to sit with it and ask two honest questions. What can I learn from this? And what is it trying to show me? That is where everything turns. The hardship stops being something happening to you and becomes something teaching you. That shift from victim to student is the whole secret. And now that first line can finally mean what it was meant to mean. You be the opposition to your adversity. Hear the difference. The quiet voice wanted you to lie down under your trouble, to be the ground it lands on. To be its opposition is to stand up and meet it. To be the one who answers, who learns, who refuses to be made smaller by the thing that came to shrink you. Not the prey, the answer. And the teaching is clear. You are not meant to do this alone. Lean on the holy people. Pray for direction when the way is not clear. Meet your trouble not with raw will, but with clear thinking, a real plan, an honest, stubborn hope. Then comes the last part, the one that gives the whole thing meaning. When you have come through, you do not keep the lesson. You pass it on to your children and to theirs. That is how a wound stops being only a wound and becomes something you hand down. That is how adversity finally turns into the one thing it never looked like at the start, an opportunity. You do not have to be Diné to live by this. Whatever you are carrying right now, and most of us are carrying something, this teaching is yours. Take what helps you and make it stronger in your own life. And if it gave you a little strength today, stay with us. Subscribe and walk the good path. There are more of these teachings still to tell. Thank you for listening, and for listening with respect. And those are the things we are told.